Well, welcome and good evening, OCPS families. My name is Victoria Tierney. I'm the Senior Administrator for Family Engagement for Orange County Public Schools, and I am excited to welcome you to a virtual mini parent academy this evening that focuses on what parents need to know about school safety and emergency drills. I'm very pleased to welcome to joining us this evening. We have Ms. Lisa Coffey, who's the Director for Social Services here at OCPS. She's also joined by Bob Boyd, who is the Assistant Director for Emergency Management. And helping us translate this evening's session is Ms. Liesel Hernandez, who is the Director of Multilingual Services. So I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone on our panel. And Lisa, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over.
All right, thank you so much, Victoria. This evening, we want to welcome you as well. This slide shows what our objectives are. After spending some time with us this evening, we hope that you are going to learn about how we keep our schools safe and secure. We hope you understand strategies that we put in place related to both the physical and psychological safety. We hope participants are going to understand how we use safety drills and what will happen in the case of an actual emergency. Our agenda for the evening looks like what is on your screen. So we'll just move right through with these topics and give you an opportunity for questions and answers. If you have questions throughout, please feel free to type into the chat. Bob and I are more than willing to answer questions as we go this evening.
And Lisa, I do want to just say thank you again to Liesel Hernandez, who's with us tonight. We will be pausing after each slide to let Liesel go ahead and translate for our Spanish-speaking families. Liesel, thank you so much for joining us.
Buenas noches, padres. Bienvenidos a esta presentación. Básicamente lo que vamos a hacer hoy es, vamos a repasar lo que padres necesitan saber sobre la seguridad escolar y los simulacros de emergencia. Vamos a empezar la sesión presentándonos. Yo soy la señora Hernández y estoy aquí para servirles si necesitan alguna ayuda en español. Gracias por tomarse el tiempo de unirse a nosotros para obtener información sobre este tema tan importante. Los objetivos de aprendizaje para el día de hoy, los padres y cuidadores aprenderán cómo las escuelas mantienen un entorno de aprendizaje seguro y protegido. También vamos a repasar cómo los padres y cuidadores comprenderán las estrategias relacionadas con la seguridad física y psicológica. Los padres y cuidadores entenderán cómo se utilizan los simulacros de seguridad y los padres y cuidadores entenderán lo que sucederá en el caso de una emergencia real. Muchos objetivos que vamos a aprender en esta noche. La agenda, vamos a hacer una bienvenida. También vamos a mantener un entorno de aprendizaje seguro y protegido. Vamos a también dar explicaciones de simulacros de seguridad, comprender los incidentes de emergencias reales y después vamos a tener una sesión para preguntas y respuestas con el cierre. Gracias.
This is Bob Boyd and myself. We are your presenters, and of course, Liesel is translating for us.
El día de hoy tenemos a la señora Lisa Coffey, que es la directora de Servicios Sociales, y también tenemos al señor Bob Boyd, que es el director asistente de la Oficina de el Manejo de Emergencias.
This evening, we just ask for you to come to our presentation with a positive attitude, be present and engaged, ask questions if you have them, and if you have the ability, make somebody's day, give them a compliment or a shout out.
Vamos a comprometernos para escoger nuestra actitud que sea positiva. Vamos a estar presentes, vamos a prestar atención a todo lo que nos están enseñando para el día de hoy. Vamos a jugar, disfrutar con el contenido también y vamos a considerar posibilidades positivas, asegurándonos que todo el mundo tenga un buen día.
Pardon me, the mute was still on. So ensuring student safety is something that is very complex, it's multifaceted, and it's ongoing. Therefore, there's really no single or simple solution to making our schools safe. It requires commitment and participation from all stakeholders, and that includes you and our students. OCPS is committed to providing a safe and secure learning environment for all students and staff. And our divisions and departments have a role in keeping our students and staff safe. The district complies with all federal and state statutes. We comply with all Florida Department of Education rules and the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Act requirements. Safety, security, and emergency management plans are reviewed regularly, and training is provided and drills are conducted in accordance with best practices. The events of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act is a leading driver of the safety in our schools. The district has school board policies that are also related to safety and school plans, and they are also reviewed regularly and updated.
Garantizar la seguridad de los estudiantes es un esfuerzo complejo, multifacético y continuo. No existe una solución única o sencilla para hacer que las escuelas sean seguras. Requiere compromiso y participación de todas las partes interesadas. OCPS se compromete a proporcionar un entorno de aprendizaje seguro para todos los estudiantes y el personal. Todas las divisiones y departamentos tienen un papel en mantener seguros a nuestros estudiantes y personal. El distrito cumple con los estatutos federales y estatales, las reglas del DOE o el Departamento de Educación y los requisitos de la ley Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Los planes de seguridad, protección y emergencia se revisan periódicamente. Se brindan capacitación y se realizan simulacros de acuerdo con las mejores prácticas. Los acontecimientos de la Ley de Seguridad Pública Marjorie Stoneman Douglas son un importante impulsor de los esfuerzos de seguridad en nuestras escuelas. El distrito tiene políticas de la Junta Escolar relacionada con la seguridad y los planes de seguridad escolar se revisan y se actualizan periódicamente.
Okay, so we have a wide range of supports to provide a safe and secure learning environment. There's a continuum of interventions and support that can help to emphasize wellness, prevention, and early intervention. We want to take that first step, and that is to prevent what we can prevent. So we have carefully developed plans to prepare for many situations, and we have systems and procedures in place to help reduce the impact of anything that may occur. In general, you see a list of things that we have here within our district. We have plans in order to follow to maintain safety. We provide training to staff. We have drills and practices in order to ensure we know what to do. We employ various personnel to help keep our learning environment safe. And we have standard responses, we have reporting systems, and we have ways to monitor what is happening within our district. And then, of course, we provide education to our students, which includes things like Child Safety Matters and Teen Safety Matters.
OCPS utiliza una variedad de apoyos para proporcionar un entorno de aprendizaje seguro. Existe una serie de intervenciones y apoyos en todo el sistema que enfatizan la promoción del bienestar, la prevención y la intervención temprana. El primer paso es prevenir una situación si podemos. Luego planificamos y nos preparamos cuidadosamente para otras situaciones, de modo que tengamos sistemas y procedimientos implementados para reducir el impacto. Prevención, mitigación de amenazas potenciales y respuesta y recuperación. En general, hay medidas que se han adoptado para promover instalaciones seguras y aumentar la conciencia sobre la seguridad. Iniciativas de infraestructura de seguridad y protección, capacitación obligatoria en preparación para emergencias para el personal de seguridad escolar y del distrito, practicando simulacros de emergencia y proporcionar sistemas de informes, fortalecer Florida para alentar a los estudiantes y al personal a decir algo si ven algo. Procedimientos de gestión de amenazas.
So, all of our planning and emergency preparedness includes both physical and psychological safety. Now, physical safety includes reasonable security measures such as locked doors. We have lighted hallways and visitor check-in systems, single points of entry, fire doors, and fire alarms. We also utilize a visitor management system at all of our schools, which require the visitors to sign in with their driver's license information. A few of the other things that we do are monitor all of our school guests. We also provide structural strategies to make sure that our students are safe. Our buses are equipped with interior cameras to monitor student activity. We have SROs on all of our campuses, and we have security guards at the gates of our high schools. We have a district police force who interacts with our other local law enforcement to make sure that our schools stay safe. And we have established emergency management plans and procedures that are used across the district.
La planificación y la preparación incluyen la seguridad física y psicológica. La seguridad física incluye medidas de seguridad física razonables como puertas cerradas con llave, pasillos iluminados y sistemas de registro de visitante, punto de entrada único, puertas cortafuegos y alarmas contra incendios. Referencia: evaluación de la seguridad del entorno escolar utilizando el marco para escuelas seguras y exitosas. Las escuelas utilizan sistemas de gestión de visitantes que requieren que todos los visitantes se registren con la información de la licencia de conducir. Otras medidas incluyen punto único de entrada, monitoreo de invitados a la escuela, acceso controlado a edificios, asegurar las escuelas con tecnología como GAGO, estrategias estructurales, puertas de fuego, sistemas de alarma contra incendios. Los autobuses están equipados con cámaras interiores para monitorear la actividad de los estudiantes, personal, insignias de personal y visitantes, supervisión del personal antes y después de la escuela y durante los periodos de transición, puertas de guardia, de seguridad, establecimiento de planes y procedimientos de gestión de emergencias, proporcionar capacitación al personal y los estudiantes del distrito, usar un sistema formal de procedimientos de gestión de amenazas y usando un protocolo de seguridad, carteles en las escuelas y realización de simulacros regulares de preparación escolar.
All right, thank you, Liesl. So Bob talked about a lot of the physical aspects that keep our school very safe. We also have a lot of things in place in our district to ensure psychological safety, and that's that feeling of being connected, safe, secure, and comfortable in the learning environment. This includes having expectations for behavior that are consistent, providing personnel that can provide mediation for interpersonal problems or support if individuals are having challenges. We provide education and instruction with civic and character education, life skills instruction, and resiliency instruction. We really help students understand how to be empowered to speak out and to share if they see concerns. And then we also have emergency protocols that are posted visually for individuals to see. In the event of a tragedy, we have plans in place to be able to support students and staff. This includes being able to provide important information, share strategies for coping, provide social and emotional support, provide counseling, and then even connect to outside resources if this is needed. We have our student services personnel, which include school psychologists, school social workers, licensed mental health counselors, school counselors, and SAFE coordinators that are there to support our students. We engage in a lot of other activities like awareness activities, Red Ribbon Week, Start with Hello, substance abuse prevention, and bully prevention activities to ensure that safety.
La seguridad psicológica incluye un clima escolar positivo y confianza entre el personal, los estudiantes y las familias, donde los estudiantes se sienten conectados y parte de una comunidad unida y solidaria, y donde los estudiantes tienen el poder de informar cualquier inquietud de seguridad. Es importante crear un clima escolar seguro y de apoyo. Por ejemplo, expectativas de comportamiento en toda la escuela, programas de ambiente escolar, solidario, intervenciones y apoyos positivos, educación cívica y de carácter e instrucción de habilidades para la vida, instrucción de habilidades de resiliencia, prevención del acoso, etc. Reiterar las reglas y solicitudes de la escuela con los estudiantes que informen problemas potenciales a los funcionarios escolares. Alentar a los estudiantes a asumir la responsabilidad de su parte en el mantenimiento de entornos escolares seguros, incluida la participación de los estudiantes en la planificación de seguridad. Recordar a los estudiantes la importancia de resistir la presión de los compañeros para actuar de manera irresponsable. Apoyo a estudiantes y familias a través de servicios estudiantiles. Profesionales de salud mental empleados por la escuela como consejeros escolares, psicólogos escolares, trabajadores sociales escolares y consejeros de salud mental. Planificación de actividades de recuperación. Perdonen. Perdonen. Planificación de actividades de recuperación en respuesta a situaciones trágicas o de crisis como la que estoy pasando yo. Esto toma la forma de intercambio de información, apoyo social y emocional y asesoramiento sobre salud mental. Perdonen. Proporcionar hechos, disipar rumores, ayudar a los estudiantes y el personal a utilizar estrategias de afrontamiento. También puede ser necesario brindar apoyo por parte del personal del distrito o se pueden hacer derivaciones y proveedores comunitarios. Perdonen.
Okay, thank you, Liesel. What we'd like to do is have you just respond to a poll. We will ask that you just type into the chat your answer to this question. What safety drills do schools have? Put A for fire, B, oops, we got the poll up there. Thank you. So go ahead and respond to the poll. A for fire, B for severe weather, C for active threat, or D for all of the above.
Antes de hablar más sobre los ejercicios, tomemos un momento para indicar algunos de los tipos de simulacros de seguridad que se llevan a cabo en las escuelas.
Lisa, I was going to go ahead and give it just about another 15 seconds, and then we'll close the poll.
Sure, thank you, Victoria.
Te van a dar como 15 minutos más para responder. Básicamente estamos identificando los simulacros de seguridad que tenemos en las escuelas.
Okay, so in looking at our results, you guys are awesome. So you are definitely well aware that we have a lot of different safety drills in place. And so I'm glad that you are aware of these because this is going to kind of lead us into our discussion about those safety drills and how we help students at various ages understand those drills and be able to follow those protocols. So thank you for participating in this poll. And yes, all of the above is the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to let Bob talk a little bit more about safety drills and unpack that for us.
All right. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about the standard response protocol, why we have drills, the types of drills and the frequency, and how parents and caregivers can help prepare their children for drills.
A medida que comenzamos a analizar los simulacros de seguridad, en las próximas diapositivas hablaremos sobre el protocolo de respuesta estándar y por qué realizamos simulacros, el tipo de simulacros y frecuencia y cómo los padres cuidadores pueden ayudar a preparar a sus hijos para los simulacros.
So OCPS utilizes the I Love You Foundation Standard Response Protocol System for responding to all emergency situations. This protocol gives our staff and students instructions on how to respond to emergency situations. The Standard Response Protocol, which we abbreviate as the SRP, is a way to respond to a variety of situations using 5 different actions. The SRP is based on an all hazards approach, which simply means we can use it for any type of emergency or any kind of disruption we might face during the day, as opposed to individual scenarios. SRP utilizes clear, common language, which allows for flexibility. There are 5 specific actions that can be performed for any given incident. Those are hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter.
OCPS utiliza el sistema de protocolo de respuesta estándar I Love You Foundation para las respuestas escolares en situaciones de emergencia. Este protocolo brinda instrucciones al personal y a los estudiantes sobre cómo responder a situaciones de emergencia. El protocolo de respuesta estándar, SRP, es una forma de responder a una variedad de situaciones utilizando 5 acciones. El SRP se basa en un enfoque para todos los peligros en lugar de escenarios individuales. El SRP utiliza un lenguaje común claro que permite flexibilidad. Hay 5 acciones específicas que se pueden realizar durante cualquier incidente: mantener, asegurar, bloquear, evacuar y refugiar.
So a lot of people ask, why do we have drills? So we have drills to create muscle memory associated with the action that we're practicing. So an event does not need to be simulated to practice the actions that students and staff need to follow. We're just showing them what actions they need to take. For example, we practice walking in a straight line, leaving the building and accounting for students. Drills allow individuals to know what to expect and how to respond safely to an incident without actually having to be exposed to that incident. They give an opportunity to learn about warning signals that may occur. So people are going to hear the actual announcements that they would hear, the directions they would hear, any audio or visual alarms during a drill. So you don't have to actually experience the event to practice for how you would respond. Drills are a way to help everyone understand what to do and to give them a chance to practice for that real event, know their role and their responsibility without actually being exposed to the incident.
¿Por qué tenemos simulacros? Se utiliza un ejercicio para crear la memoria muscular asociada con una acción practicada. No es necesario simular un evento para practicar las acciones que los estudiantes y el personal deben seguir. Por ejemplo, practicamos caminar en fila, salir del edificio y dar cuenta de los estudiantes durante un simulacro. Los simulacros permiten a las personas saber qué esperar y cómo responder de manera segura. Dan la oportunidad de conocer las señales de advertencia que pueden ocurrir, como anuncios, indicaciones, alarmas sonoras, alarmas visuales, luces de emergencia, etc. No es necesario que experimentes el evento real para practicar cómo responderías.
So in Florida, we're mandated to have emergency drills by the state. The drills that we have to have are fire drills, weather drills, and threat drills. There's various codes that mandate this, but just know that they're out there. If you're interested in that, we can always provide those to you. With the amended rule in the updated Florida Fire Prevention Code, we're required to conduct the following. So we have to have 6 fire drills per year. We have to have 6 emergency drills per year. And of those 6 emergency drills that we do, 4 of those will be for an active threat or an active assailant situation, and 2 of them will be for other events, which we use severe weather.
En Florida tenemos el mandato de realizar simulacros de emergencia. Esto incluye simulacros de incendio, simulacros climáticos y simulacros de amenazas. El 22 de marzo del 2023, la Junta de Educación del Estado de Florida aprobó enmiendas a la regla 6A 1.0018, Código Administrativo de Florida, requisitos y monitoreo de seguridad escolar. Las enmiendas incorporan requisitos relacionados con simulacros de emergencia según lo que exige el proyecto de la Ley 1421 de Seguridad Escolar de la Cámara de Representantes de 2022. Todos los cambios entrarán en vigor el 1 de agosto del 2023. Representantes, estos incluyen 6 simulacros de incendio por año escolar, 6 simulacros de emergencia por año. 4 de los simulacros de emergencia deben abordar amenazas activas, asaltante activo, y los 2 simulacros de emergencia restantes deben abordar otros eventos de emergencia como condiciones climáticas severas.
So we've talked about these drills, and we know that emergency situations can be very scary and concerning. And so what can you as caregivers and parents do to help prepare your children for these situations? Well, the first thing is to become familiar with that standard response protocol that Bob talked about: the hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter. These are the actions that we ask our students to take. Those are the activities in response to a situation. We really want you to encourage your children to follow the directions of the adults in the building, follow their teacher or other administrators, giving them instructions during a drill or a real emergency. And then talk to them in a developmentally appropriate way that explains to them that we do this to practice so that we can keep them safe. And so one of the questions I saw in the chat was, how do we talk to our kindergartner? That would be different than how you would talk to a high schooler. And we just say, the adults in the building are there to keep you safe. And we have you practice doing certain things so that if there's an emergency, you know what to do, and it's not the very first time you've ever been given these kinds of directions. Lisa, I'm going to let you translate, and then I'll answer the other question in the chat.
Entonces, ¿cómo pueden los padres preparar a sus hijos para estos ejercicios? Los padres y cuidadores pueden participar activamente en la preparación de sus hijos para los simulacros escolares, reforzar la importancia de los simulacros y tomarlos en serio. Lo mejor es proporcionar explicaciones apropiadas para el desarrollo. Explique que los simulacros son una forma de ayudarlos a comprender qué hacer y darles la oportunidad de practicar para que en caso de una emergencia real conozcan su función y responsabilidad.
Thanks, Lisa. The next question that I see in the chat is, you'd like to know what happens during the drill because you get the messaging, but you don't know what that's like. And guess what? Bob's going to talk about that right next.
I can tell you this, we have a standard procedure across the district. So just so you know, this is how it should be happening in every school. So very simply, we're going to have an active assailant drill. The first thing that's going to happen is the principal is going to get on the PA system through the school. They're going to announce this is a drill because we don't want to scare people thinking this is a real incident. So they'll say this is a drill, down, locks, lights, out of sight. At that time, what's going to happen in each of the classrooms is the teachers are going to start moving around their room. If they have a door that has a window on it, the district has provided a cover. They'll go and they'll drop that cover. The kids will start moving to whatever area of the room has been deemed the safer area. And that would be to put as much protection between them and the hallway. Actually, in most classes, after about the first time they do the drill, the kids just get up and do this. They know what they're doing. They'll stand up, they'll move into that area. The teacher will move back with them. They'll remain quiet back there in that corner. After all that happens, you're going to have probably the principal, maybe an assistant principal, and the school resource officer walk around and ensure that the doors are locked, which they should be. District policy, those doors will remain locked while there's students in the classrooms. They're going to verify that they can't see or hear any students. And once that's done, they'll go back to the PA system. They'll make an announcement and say, the drill has concluded, clear. They'll have a meeting with their teachers later on. Well, they'll discuss, hey, maybe when I walk past the music room, we could hear some people in there. So the next time, please make sure that you're being quieter. Any kind of feedback like that will be incorporated by those teachers, and hopefully the next time we do the drill, it'll be even better than the time before.
Compartamos ahora con usted una descripción general de lo que sucede durante una emergencia real. Nuestro distrito tiene un plan para abordar situaciones de emergencia. Estos se encuentran en nuestro Plan Integral de Manejo de Emergencias, CEMP. Estos planes se revisan anualmente y se actualizan según sea necesario. La información resaltada es un altavoz no escrito y no para traducción. Cada 5 años se realiza una revisión formal por parte de un tercero. El plan incluye pasos para notificar a los padres. Nuestro objetivo es asegurarnos de que nuestros padres sean notificados con información oportuna y objetiva. Trabajamos para compartir recursos con las familias.
And if I can add one more thing on, I would like to say what we do not do. You are never going to have anyone banging or kicking on a door, anyone acting like a shooter. There are never weapons. There's nothing out there. This is literally what I explained. That is what a drill looks like, be it at an elementary school, a middle school, or a high school. That is what we do across the board. So we do not do any of those things with students in our classrooms.
En estas sesiones de prácticas no van a haber ningún tipo de violencia o actos así críticos. Solamente es una práctica de que los estudiantes tienen que hacer, las responsabilidades de cada uno para asegurar de que si algo sí ocurre, ellos sepan qué hacer.
So I think you might have covered some of this, Bob. I don't know how you want to just touch on this slide. You tell me when to flip.
Right. So real quick, I'll just let you know what happens during an actual incident at our school. So the school and the district will initiate our emergency operations plan. So we have a master operations plan from a district perspective that says how will we respond to an incident. It will cover any kind of incident we will experience. So it's called an all hazards plan. The school and district administrators will follow our procedures that we have laid out. We have a team called our District Incident Management Team, which will then start to assemble and provide support to that school. So that's the cavalry coming from the school district. We're going to make sure that those students are supported and that our teachers and our staff are supported as well there. One of our number one priorities, well, it is our number one priority, is the safety of your students and our staff. That's number one. So anytime an incident occurs, never think that we're not looking out for their safety. That is what we are doing first and foremost. Your part as a parent, how you can help us, is please listen to the messaging and follow any directions that come out in the district messaging. Sometimes I know you might want to go to school, you might want to be there thinking I can help or I can get my child. We ask you to stay away, please do. That will actually help us get your child back to you faster than if you show up.
¿Qué pasa si ocurre una situación real? La escuela y el distrito iniciarán los planes de operación de emergencia. Los administradores de la escuela, distrito, seguirán los procedimientos y el equipo del distrito brindará apoyo y apoyo técnico según sea necesario para la situación. Esto es similar a un hospital cuando se llama un código. Todo el mundo tiene un trabajo que hacer. Nuestra prioridad número 1 es la seguridad de los estudiantes y el personal. Su parte como padres es escuchar los mensajes y seguir las instrucciones contenidas en ellos para que podamos reunirlos lo más rápido posible.
All right, so in this slide, I'm going to cover a few things, a few questions that you might actually have. So, will parents be notified in the event of an emergency? Yes, the district has a plan for that. We know when we're going to send messages and how we're going to communicate them to the families using School Messenger. Should parents come to the school during an emergency? Your natural inclination is you want to go to where your child is. You want to help them. You want to be there for them. You want to get them. However, this is not the best thing that you can do. If we need to get fire department into the school, if we need to get more police officers into the school, whatever the incident's going on, you being there is actually just going to be in the way, and it's going to make that response harder. So the best thing that we can ask you to do is please don't do that. We can then get your students back to you faster that way than if you do go to the school. Another thing I would tell you too is even if you want to go to the area that your school is, if something happened there, please don't, just out of your own personal safety. It might not be safe for you to be in that area. There's a building on fire somewhere that could spread, that could potentially have bad things in the air that you don't want to be breathing. So please don't go there for your own safety as well. Communications will be sent via school messenger related to the release of students. And we want to make sure that we have an organized system in place to verify that students are accounted for. We're making sure that your student is going to someone that they should be allowed to go with. This organized system will help expedite the reunification of students with loved ones. So remember that if we ever ask you to send someone to the school or to another location to get your student, please make sure that that person is on record that they can pick your student up, because we cannot release people to someone who is not on file to be released to.
¿Se notificará a los padres en caso de una emergencia real? El distrito tiene un plan sobre cuándo y cómo enviar comunicaciones a las familias mediante el mensajero escolar. ¿Deberían los padres venir a la escuela durante una situación de emergencia? La inclinación natural de los padres es querer ir a buscar a sus hijos a la escuela durante una situación peligrosa o de emergencia. Probablemente no sea el mejor curso de acción. Se hace todo lo posible para mantener a los estudiantes y el personal seguros y protegidos. Dependiendo de la situación, puede que no sea seguro que los padres estén en el área o que la escuela libere a los estudiantes. La comunicación se enviará a través del mensajero escolar relacionada con la salida de los estudiantes. Queremos asegurarnos de contar con un sistema organizado para verificar que se tenga en cuenta al estudiante y que la persona adecuada esté tomando la custodia del estudiante. Este sistema organizado acelera la reunificación de los estudiantes con sus seres queridos. ¿Deberían los padres enviar mensajes de texto a sus hijos? Sabemos lo importante que es para las familias de comunicación entre los padres cuidadores y los niños. Sin embargo, los padres y cuidadores deben tener en cuenta que durante el periodo inicial de algunas situaciones puede no ser seguro que los estudiantes envíen mensajes de texto a sus padres. A medida que las situaciones se resuelven, se les puede pedir a los estudiantes que informen a sus padres. Además, la información se enviará a través del mensajero escolar. Tenga cuidado con la información que recibe de su hijo, puede que no sea objetiva. ¿Cómo saben los padres dónde ir a buscar a sus hijos si son evacuados? En algunos casos, es posible que sea necesario evacuar y transportar a los estudiantes fuera del sitio. El distrito preparará una reunificación entre estudiantes y padres. La información sobre la ubicación del lugar de evacuación y cómo reunirse con los niños se proporcionará en las comunicaciones del mensajero escolar. No se informa a los padres sobre las ubicaciones con anticipación, ya que las decisiones relacionadas con estos sitios se toman en función de la situación de emergencia en cuestión. El proceso lleva algún tiempo, ya que queremos asegurarnos de conectar cuidadosamente a los niños con sus familias.
So we know that emergency situations can be scary. They can be unnerving for everyone. As Bob shared, we have a very strong system in place for communication, and we use that school messenger to make sure that our families understand what's happening. You also can get information from our district website or our district social media sites. Depending on situations, sometimes we activate an emergency hotline. That number would also be available on our district website. We have in place our student services personnel who are there to provide psychological support and just assistance for students in coping following any kind of emergency situation. Based on whatever the needs are of that situation, we develop a plan for support for students and staff. And this then gets communicated through the messaging that goes out to our families.
Las situaciones de emergencia pueden dar miedo. Queremos proporcionar información y recursos a los padres. Nuestro equipo de comunicaciones tiene un plan para enviar información a las familias. Esto incluye mensajero escolar, sitio web del distrito y sitio de redes sociales, línea de llamada del distrito. Dependiendo de la situación, se diseñan planes de apoyo psicológico en función de las necesidades específicas de la situación. Esto se comunica a través de la comunicación del distrito. El personal de servicios estudiantiles está disponible para brindar apoyos a los estudiantes si es necesario. ¿Qué pueden hacer los padres? Asegúrese de que la escuela tenga la información de contacto correcta para que pueda recibir mensajes. Siga las instrucciones proporcionadas por el distrito para que pueda estar seguro y no interferir con los servicios de emergencia y podamos recuperarlo rápidamente con su hijo. Hable con sus hijos sobre cómo los simulacros ayudan a mantenerlos seguros y a tomarlos en serio.
So in order to help during an emergency, there are some things that our families, our caregivers and parents can do to help during and after that event. And like Bob said, making sure that the school has correct contact information for you is critical, because this is how we send so much messaging to our families. Following the instructions, having our students really learn what to be doing during those drills creates that muscle memory. So if there's a real emergency, then they know what to do. And so talking to our children about those drills and how they keep them safe is a really important way to help them be prepared for various emergency situations. And then, just like Bob said, following the instructions that are given from that messaging in the district, that really does help us move through a situation faster and be able to reunite you with your children more quickly and keep everybody safe.
Para ayudar durante una emergencia, existen algunas acciones que los padres y cuidadores pueden tomar antes y durante la asistencia. Antes de una emergencia, asegúrese de que la escuela tenga la información de contacto correcta. Esto asegurará que reciba los mensajes necesarios. Antes de una emergencia, hable con sus hijos sobre cómo los simulacros ayudan a mantenerlos seguros y a tomarlos en serio. Durante una emergencia, siga las instrucciones proporcionadas por el distrito para que pueda estar seguro y no interferir con los servicios de emergencia y podamos recuperarlo rápidamente con su hijo.
So we know we've covered a lot this evening. If there are additional questions that you have, please feel free to type those into the chat, and Bob and I will be able to answer them. We really want to make sure that you leave this evening knowing that safety is our first priority, and we have a lot of plans and structures and personnel in place in our district to help keep our staff and our students safe.
Sabemos que hemos cubierto mucho esta noche. Continúa y escriba en el chat cualquier pregunta adicional que pueda tener.
So Bob and Lisa, we do not have additional questions coming in the chat as of yet, but I do want to thank you so much, because one of the common threads throughout the chat this evening has been that parents have found this helpful. And I think many times when parents aren't really sure, they don't have a picture of what is happening at school, that can be more scary than if they just know. And the information you shared tonight, I think really helped to give them a very clear idea of exactly what's being communicated. Oh, so yes, Michelle, you were asking if this is being recorded. It is being recorded, and a copy of this particular presentation will be on our YouTube Families channel. I will drop the link in the chat so that you have it. And someone was asking, is there training provided to teachers on what to do if classrooms are breached during a live active threat situation?
I will go ahead and take that one. So yes, we do provide teachers training on what to do during a live active threat situation. We train everyone based on the federally developed run, hide, fight method. You know, the first thing that we want people to do is try to get away from anything that they can get away from. So if they are able to take their children and get out, do it. Take the students and get out of there. We practice the hide all the time during our drills. That's basically what we're looking at doing. So we want to go somewhere. We want to get behind a locked door. We want to remain quiet, turn the lights out, make people not think that we're there. They'll go away, hopefully. But we always do tell teachers, and we give them some strategies. If you absolutely have to, if your classroom has been breached, you always have the option to fight. And that might be the last ditch thing. We don't want you to have to do that. But if it happens, Anything that you have at hand could potentially be a weapon. Do everything you can to disable the person that comes through. So that is the kind of training that they are provided.
La pregunta fue si las maestras o los maestros son entrenados si hay una amenaza real en el salón o en la aula. Y la respuesta del señor fue sí, fue un poco larga, so no voy a poder entrar en detalles, pero quiero que sepan que sí, que los maestros sí están entrenados en ese tipo de situación.
So I see that there is a question in the chat related to training for students who are not familiar with the new schools. And we do provide instruction to the students on our standard response protocol and what each of those things means. Bob, I don't know if you want to expand on that at all.
No, I think you summed it up, Lisa. That's actually what our drills are for. So in the first week, the first 10 days of school, we actually have to complete a fire drill and an active assailant drill. So that way all of our students, all of our staff, right from the get-go, know what is going to happen during a drill. They know what actions to take. So we always do that right at the beginning of the year to make sure that they are aware of what they have to do.
Una de las preguntas que acaban de hacer es que si los estudiantes son nuevos o se acaban de empezar el año escolar, si tienen el entrenamiento necesario para estar bien y saber cómo reaccionar en este tipo de situación. Y la respuesta es sí. Durante el año escolar tienen varias prácticas para asegurar que todos los estudiantes sepan qué hacer en este tipo de situación.
If I could add one thing too, you will actually see these posters up at our schools. This is the SRP and what actions mean and what we do during those. So these are posted across our schools. You should see them when you're in our schools as well. So that way we try to put them up there. So if any visitors are ever in the school and they have a question on what to do, those posters are around so they have an idea of what all those actions mean and what actions they should take if they ever hear them.
El letrero que le acabo de enseñar tiene las descripciones y las direcciones para los estudiantes y son visibles. O cuando usted entre en la oficina central de la escuela, va a ver que esas instrucciones están y uno las ve sin ningún problema y los estudiantes sí están familiarizados de los requisitos que ellos tienen que hacer para asegurar que estén bien, que estén cuidados y sin ningún tipo de peligro.
Well, I am so appreciative that everyone was able to join us this evening because I think it was really valuable information and it was shared in such a calm and clear manner. And I think that's what's most important is that through all of this, our children get a calm message. Our parents feel calm about the procedures and what's in place. A lot of thank yous are coming into the chat. Before we go, I'm going to do a shameless plug for Parent Academy because you all help make us relevant to our families. And we do have a virtual Parent Academy this Saturday. It's called our Big IDEA ESE Virtual Conference. So if you are a parent or a caregiver of a student who's in the Exceptional Student Education Program, we encourage you to go to parentacademy.ocps.net and take a look at registering for that particular conference. It's wonderful. We provide a lot of resources. We also have our very popular college and career fair that will be Saturday, October 21st at Freedom High School. And again, if you go to the Parent Academy webpage at OCPS, you will see a lot of information and you can register. I will drop some of the links into the chat as well. And there's a QR code for feedback. I know that Lisa and Bob would greatly appreciate that. Lisa just dropped the link in the chat. I'm also going to drop a link in terms of just Parent Academy feedback if you have a minute to complete that as well. And we thank you, all of you, for joining us. I really want to say, Lisa and Bob and Lisa, you are my heroes tonight. You did a great job.
Well, I thank all of the parents who have taken time out of their busy schedules and their personal lives to join us this evening. It was a pleasure to present.
Yes, thank you all very much.
Muchas gracias por asistir a nuestra sesión de hoy. Para satisfacer mejor sus necesidades en sesiones futuras, envíenos sus comentarios utilizando el enlace de la encuesta en el cuadro de chat. Apreciamos sus comentarios honestos. Buenas noches. Gracias.
Have a good night, everyone.
Victoria, I don't know if there's a different link. That's the one that was put on the PowerPoint, and they're saying that the link is not working. I don't know if there's a different one from you guys.